Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whenever you are. Hello. Thank you for watching my videos. It's Mike. It's December 4th, 2009. Now, one of my viewers sent me a personal message basically saying, okay, so what's going to happen? Give us your predictions for 2009. Well, what the heck. I don't normally do this kind of stuff, but I don't have a crystal ball. I have some gray matter. So these are things that can be you can expect. Now, where to begin? Okay, so the first 3 months of the year will be pretty much the same as they are now. So the news that people will see on the economy will be about retailing. The first 3 months it will be about retailing, and this month in particular, there's going to be big announcements. Marks and Spencer, for instance, probably their sales will have declined 15 to 25%, which is a huge chunk of money. Other major chains here in the UK, things like Debenhams and Next, will be reporting their profits, etc. And it's going to be a mess. The same thing's going to be happening in the States. Of course, Walmart, Target, all the big discounters over there, doing really, really well. They're going to announce record profits in the downturn, as they call it. One of the questions I had, of course, was what's the difference between a recession and a depression? A depression is technically, before 1930, before the Great Depression, every recession was called a depression. After the Great Depression, they decided they're going to stop calling it a depression because it would freak people out. So they now started calling it recessions. Anyway, the official definition of a depression is a 10% decline in gross domestic product. Right now, the rate is somewhere annualized. The rate of decline of GDP is around 6% in the United States. I think we'll find a similar thing here in England as soon as the retailers start reporting their dismal Christmas sales. Okay, what will happen? Retailers will cut back on staff. Okay, so there'll be unemployment, and they'll start dropping hours for those that they keep on. So this is, hidden unemployment. I expect more bailouts from the government for bigger name companies. So bigger names out there in manufacturing and whatever will get bailed out. I expect at least one of the train companies will fail here in the UK and be bailed out by the government. Lots of small, medium-sized businesses will simply disappear without any mention in the news. They'll just go. March through June, we will see the real losses in headcount. The number of unemployed will start to shoot up. Real unemployment in the US will exceed 25 to 30%. No, I'm not making that up. Of course, the official figure will be much lower. The same thing happens here in the UK. People who are unemployed after a certain length of time are no longer counted. Okay, they're considered unemployable, and so they get moved off into other counts. I expect failures of supermarkets. Okay, smaller supermarkets will fail. Larger retailers will be on the brink of failure, and there'll be all kinds of news about some of these larger non-discount retailers really, really struggling. This is in food and food supply. I expect shipping and trucking, particularly, to decline dramatically. Okay, there'll be a lot less demand for the shipping and trucking companies because there's a lot less goods being sold and shifted to end consumers. So lots of people will be out of business in the trucking industry, and I expect that to continue and increase. I expect, however, new infrastructure projects to kick off. In the States, in particular, Obama will have his New Deal, which will include brand new, for instance, train lines, brand new multi-lane highways to kick off the system. And of course, it's going to be greener solutions. Green is going to be the new buzzword. The second half of the year is going to get really bad after that. Now, I'm just going to spit these things out, and you can all discuss where I'm getting this stuff from and why I think it's going to happen. We'll discuss that in the comments. Right. Rotating power cuts will happen in the developed world. Okay, so you'll see countries that suddenly the power is going on and off for no particularly good reason. Including many parts of the US. I expect there will be states that just fail. Major cities with larger areas experiencing real poverty will become no-go areas. Gang violence will increase. There'll be a huge increase in burglaries and personal attacks and theft. There will be demonstrations, protests in major financial cities. Some of these will turn ugly, and we may actually see real civil unrest and looting and fires and all that stuff that you saw in LA a number of years ago. Some states, larger cities, will declare they are bankrupt, they have no money, services will be cut. Expect one or two major TV networks or news networks to fold due to loss of advertising. Newspapers will stop printing. Some of them may actually continue to exist on the web, or they may print a limited edition, and the majority of the news is actually on the internet because it's far cheaper. Movies will be full of anti-banking sentiment. Okay. And there'll be a lot of pro-family movies, and how people are coping, and there'll be a lot of sob stories out there of people who are surviving this, and whether that's TV or real physical movies, that's what you're going to start seeing. DVD rentals will increase. DVD, CD, game piracy will increase dramatically. A lot of game companies will go out of business because they're not actually selling enough. There's too many pirated copies that kick them out. Piracy will increase and will be mentioned a lot more in the news as a really bad thing. Well, it is a bad thing, but what can people do if they have no money? Army recruiting will increase. Now, this is actually quite interesting. As young unemployed people try to find something to do, they'll sign up to the Army, the Navy, Air Force, etc. So the Army will grow dramatically. Expect the price of oil to spike up in the last half of this year. Oil production facilities will be in decline. Some of them will be closing. There are no new oil production facilities being built in most parts of the world. So oil is going to go back up. There will be more chaff in the news about conflicts in the Middle East. There will be more coups occurring in Central, South America, and Asia. South American economies will begin to show signs of collapse. There will be unrest in major cities in South America. Russia will suffer a series of major events, crises, whatever. And this will only serve to entrench Putin's crowd of cronies around him. Parts of Europe previously unaffected will suddenly experience huge losses. Suddenly, for instance, Spain. Spain's been going on about, oh, we're great, we have no problems. It's coming. The pound will reach parity with the euro. This will happen probably this month, possibly in the next 2 months. It will go below the euro. Then what will start happening is the euro will start declining against the dollar and the yen. Okay? Right now, the pound is currently selling at $1.44. I expect the pound to reach parity with the dollar before the end of the year. Well, that's going to be my most far out one. This one is just... This will mess up all kinds of people. Is that bleak enough for you? There is some good news. Yes. Soup lines will become common. So if you like soup, you're sorted. There will be reports of people freezing in the street next winter when energy supplies fluctuate. Is that good news? Don't know. Obama will start repeating the change mantra more and more. And some of our politicians will most likely pull out the we have nothing to fear but fear itself line to try to cheer people up. Deflation or inflation? Okay, deflation will continue. Deflation will continue probably for the next 6 months or so, and it'll be in the news, and everybody be worried about deflation and the deflationary spiral, etc., etc. It will, however, turn into inflation in the last half of this year. The news will likely highlight how homegrown terrorists are appearing more and more. And there will probably be one or two terrorist incidents in the States. When this is all going to end, the economies of the world will continue to decline for at least the next 3 years, more likely the next 5 to 7 years. So don't expect a recovery until at least 2014, 2015. Unless, of course, there's some kind of reason for a sudden push in manufacturing, or an increase in manufacturing. Something like perhaps a war. Okay, people. Peace. Keep it real, keep it safe. Think about things. Think about how you can overcome all this. And I really, really hope that this is all just pure speculation. Thank you.